Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another run through of Backpack Brawl. Today we'll be focusing on the character Harkin, which is a lot of fun to play but can be a bit challenging. So I'm going to walk you guys through this character and try and explain some of the synergies that works well with him. Now, as per normal, I'm looking for another weapon for our first fight. Because this iron bar is on sale, I'll chuck that on as well. And because we're up against a Chana and that watermelon is discounted, I'll throw it in for now, why not? And let me organize my bag a little bit better too. There we go, so we got the weapon and the watermelon, triggering the iron bar. And we've got this mushroom, which is obviously unique to Harkin, and this is what it does. It's got an interesting star pattern, one at the end and one to the side, and it gives you +1 strength per weapon attached, but it also importantly loses you 10 life per weapon attached. And by weapon, I meant melee weapon. It's kind of tempting to pick up another one right now, but I'm happy to wait a little bit longer. Let's see how we go in this first fight. My opponent's got a pretty good start with 2 of those flame wands, but searing wands. But we were able to pull through. I think that armor helped us a bit as well. I'm almost always on the lookout for pots, stamina potions, and building up to them, because Harkin, he tends to excel with a lot of weapons, and the reason for that is his character is designed around strength. So why that works well with multiple weapons is because the way strength works. Just have a quick look here. We've got Empower, and that gives weapons +1 damage. So that becomes most effective with 1, high attack weapons, because it's more frequently making use of that plus extra damage, and also naturally the more weapons you have, the more uses you're going to get from your Empower. So as I said just earlier, high attack speed works really well on Harkin, and these common items both have very high attack speed, but 1.6 cooldown and 1.5, which is just too good to pass up. So I'll lock the wooden sword. I do like to use the broom quite a bit, but I might give this one a pass for now. And let me just rearrange my bag slightly too. Just putting that food together for a slightly increased speed of consumption. Now you see what our opponent has done is what you don't want to do. She's got herself too many bags but not enough items in there. Now maybe she's got them at a good discount, which is why she's picked them up, but that has meant that she is now weaker. Speaking of bags, I'll gladly take that. And of course the wooden sword. Now we're up against a nymph next round, so I won't bother picking up the tusk. I'll grab the rock in case we don't find anything on the next roll here. But we have, I like the look of that sash. So I'll get rid of that. I'll throw this in. I've got 2 bananas, so I won't grab a third. I may combine the iron bar though. Any item that synergizes well with high attack speed also goes well on Harkin. And because this bar gives you armor, dependent on when an item activates, if you have 2 quick weapons here, which we do, that's going to net us more armor than putting them on standard weapons. And that particularly helps with these early fights here, because our opponents just aren't able to do enough damage. We've got ourselves another wooden sword, which is amazing. I'll definitely be locking that. And I don't usually go armor with a Harkin, but why not? Let's try it. So this character has quite a few items that trigger when he's at low health, and a good portion of those items gives him extra strength. There's something to be mindful of. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend going a whole lot of armor on Harkin usually, because it has some anti-synergy with quite a few of his others. But we're not hard committing to this, we can always change it up later. On sale fanny pack, of course. I'll take this for now. I'll also pick up the second wooden sword, but I won't be combining it yet. Instead, what I'll do is a little bit of rearranging, and we've gotten our first water potion from that sash, which is very lucky. Okay, so here's what our bag looks like. We've got our two fastest attacking weapons attached to these bars here to generate a decent amount of armor. And we've got our food on the fanny packs because we are slightly over stamina here. So this banana should give us a little bit more time before our stamina runs out. This rusty sword is the weakest of our weapons as it slows us slightly, and its cooldown is the longest. Mind you, it inflicting a debuff can be helpful. And look at that, we're winning very convincingly. We're even finishing the match with 20 armor and almost full health. Look at that. That's what I want to see. Since we're going it, we're up against a Chana again, so I won't bother against the Tusk. That's lucky. And this weapon is one of the unique ones to Harkin, and that builds into his ultimate endgame weapon there, so I'll definitely be picking that up. And also another fanny pack. And I'll lock that for next round. Now, if you're coming across a lot of Ronins with his thorns, it can be a good idea to pick up an early wooden club. And potentially even a mallet, as they both remove thorns and shield. And if you have a lot of weapons, you can really get wrecked by thorn builds. So it's good to keep in mind. So I've replaced my starter weapon with the higher damage Dark Omen, although it does have a longer cooldown. I think the damage increase is worth the replacing. It also has a better on-hit effect. And then we're also combining our second bar there. Beautiful, we're on our way to an adamantite bar already. If we want to get cheeky, we can even add extra effective strength to these two weapons here. It works really well with the wooden sword because of how quickly it attacks. Although I wouldn't always do this. This is somewhat for demonstration purposes. If it was on sale, maybe I'd be more inclined to usually pick it up. That's probably worth getting. Oh, wonderful. And another fanny pack discounted. Now I should probably replace this wooden sword with the torch. but I want to keep it there to demonstrate to you guys just how effective Harkin can be with even the most common of items, so long as they have a high attack speed. You just want to be careful when you see yourself being matched up against Ronan, and maybe adjust your bag accordingly. Get rid of some daggers if you have quite a few, in case he's going heavy thorns. We've got our sash for our belt. That's excellent. I'm tempted because this is rocked up just to grab that as well, just to see what we can do with it. But again, I wouldn't usually recommend that. And that's not standard play. And again, just to reiterate, anti-synergy with some of his other items, so just be aware. We've got the tender sausage here that builds into the wrath potion, so I'll pick that up. And then a discounted speed essence, which is amazing, but I can't really make use of it at the moment because we don't have any stamina generation yet. Now, I hate to let this torch go so soon. I was hoping to use that a bit later when I was able to with the stamina, but we don't have any luck at the moment, so I'm going to be picking up this rose. Pardon me, we do have luck. We've got the sashes here, so that's 4, which translates to 12 accuracy, but that still brings us under 100, especially for the wooden swords. It's effectively good enough for the Dark Omen with 85% accuracy. And if this is different to your weapons, it may be because there are different levels of upgrade. I'm not sure exactly. In any case, we will throw our sausage on the next fanny pack, and we'll lock this Fury's Edge as well, another unique to Harkin that builds into his ultimate weapon too. Oh, and let's not forget to lock our sash. We don't have any potions yet, so I prefer, well, I mean we have the water potion, but it doesn't really count. I prefer not to combine these until we do have a potion to use, because it grants us 1 extra luck when you combine when you keep them separate. And you also have a collective 28% chance to get an extra water potion, depending on the level of your sash. Look at that. That poor Enoch isn't even able to get past our armor generation here. So we've finished off with 88 armor. Let's have a quick look. Got 220 just from that adamantite bar. And this is where our damage is coming from, primarily from our wooden swords. So they're outperforming the Dark Omen. Just crazy. And that's simply thanks to a bit of our strength, obviously also the whetstone on one of the wooden swords, and their very high attack speed. In this current patch, the shroom is not great. Stonehide mask, I haven't actually used this much, but it can be quite good. I wouldn't be opposed to picking that up, but it's my understanding that this is one of the strongest uniques that Harkin has, and it synergizes really well with his strength gain and multiple weapons. So I'll take that to show you guys just how great it can be. Pick up our first clover gladly. We'll need some more bag space. And I can't make use of either of those at the moment, which is frustrating. Let's see what we can do with this bag. Okay, this is what we've got. And this is the drum star pattern. And again, this unique synergizes really well with high attack speed, because its trigger is based on your weapon's attacks, or their hits. So if you have a really high attack speed, you're going to get that +1 damage much faster. We've just wrapped our wooden swords around the drum and put our adamantite bar here. And because we're generating a bit of mana, I've opted to put the speed essence in so we can inflict a little bit of fire damage. We'll see how much that actually does for us. I've also put the wooden swords on these fanny packs, so these guys are going to go crazy quick. Let's slow it down just to 2 times and see how we go. Okay, our first loss. Let's see what happened. So a decent amount of damage with one of our wooden swords. We didn't have enough time to generate a whole lot of armor, but we got obliterated by her repeater. And we were out of stamina quite a bit actually, so that's a problem. I think that speed essence is throwing us a bit. So because we're out of stamina, that damage graph isn't necessarily representative of how good each weapon is being, because that low damage wooden sword wasn't able to fire 4 times. Pick up the bag. We'll roll for something better, but I will pick that up. I'm still really hoping for an apple, but I'll pick up the econ for now. I might even see how we go just with the 2 wooden swords. We've been unfortunate in not coming across either of these second weapons that we've needed to upgrade our basic ones. Only the ones after these 2 here. But this happens sometimes, that's okay. Okay, and even with just the 2 common weapons though, we were able to beat this opponent. And she had a decent build too. So our armor, our damage. Oh, and I'll show you guys the opponents real quickly. There we go. And the fanny pack, pick this up. Finally we can combine another weapon. That's wonderful. I'll take that gladly. Now I'll be combining this. I have 2 choices here. The watermelon or the nightshade. But particularly on Harkin, he does really well with the lifesteal. And this green snapper has, like, I think, if I'm understanding this correctly, only a 50% chance to gain lifesteal, because it's either gain lifesteal or gain 3 mana, and it has a longer cooldown at 3.6. Whereas if you combine it with the nightshade, we have a red widow cooldown of 2.7, and it's guaranteed to gain 2 lifesteal. The downside to the Red Widow is that its accuracy is horrible at 40%, so it won't be hitting all the time. But I'd still prefer that. Well, I'll rearrange that in a second. Okay, I've just shuffled a few things there. We're just combining these weapons to this round. They will put us well over our stamina capacity. Opponent's gone poison. So we were able to kill her quick enough. I would really like an apple, please. Oh, it's not an apple, but helpful. There we are, our bag's a bit of a mess this time round because we're combining two different sets of weapons. Let's see how we go. Yeah, perfect. Let's have a quick look at the details here. The wooden sword still comes out on top. Oh, I love it. Okay, and our opponent's damage mostly came from thorns, naturally. And that's because she built the blood thorn, which is pretty good. It's level 11. Oh. And looks like she's going for another 2. Now I'm picking this Death Essence up because it can combine into a skull, which gives us extra lifesteal in the beginning, which I love. I'll skip the harpoon. I'll skip these as well, although the plate mail can be useful. Oh, and I've also tried this Frost Cleaver with Harkin's Blood Axe unique for a double crit axe combo, and that was fun. I did enjoy that. This can be a decent item if you have really powerful weapons. I like your endgame one. I'm going to get rid of this bar here to pick up a bit more eco. And arrange my bag like so. A quick look at the details. Wolf Strike coming out on top. That's because it didn't get out of stamina when everything else did. Okay. So again, not that helpful. Until we find our potions. Now, we're able to combine Harkin's ultimate weapon, which I'm looking forward to. Which is why I'll be picking up that. And this is one of my favorite things to do with Harkin and his high attack speed weapons that you pick up is grab a Gloves of Power. So I'll throw that here in place of the bar, and I'll throw this down on these 2 powerful weapons here. Lock the armored bag for now, and we could pick up one of these and then start combining all of this. And we have the whetstones into the fine sword and the amethyst blade, and that grants us even more attack speed. Sorry, lifesteal. So that's definitely a good option, and if I wanted to do that, I should have done that a bit earlier as well, because I'm not sure we'll have time for it now, unless I take a few losses intentionally. I'll go ahead and place the bar here instead. Move this slightly to get a little bit more strength. We might have to settle just for 1 Berserker potion after all. That's really disappointing. I was hoping to show you guys some cool crazy weapon build with a whole bunch of weapons, but it's okay. If you guys want to see the details, here it is quickly. I'm running out of stamina still. Of course, the wooden swords are crazy now. And yeah, the Warbringer missed the most, but only by 1. So adding that Gloves of Power really boosted them significantly. And then our opponents here. Now we're at 13 wins, so I won't go eco. Do I bother picking that up? Probably not, to be honest. Let's see what else we can roll. Another Gloves of Power, but unfortunately, with the wooden sword only being 2 blocks long, we can't really fit another one in and have it attached to the war drum. But we can attach it to one of them. And why not? Let's pick up the whetstone too. Now I like the critical sacks on Harkon quite a bit. And also the Celestial Teapot, because I usually pick up 1 or 2 golden tails, and that's because it gives us even more strength, and importantly gives us it at the beginning of the match. So we don't even need to get low necessarily. Let's see what we can do with our bag. Here's what we've got. We've connected the World's End with the second Gloves of Power. Oop. And we'll lock that teapot for next round. We got demolished. Let's have a look. Damage. Health. And then getting wrecked by his thorns, naturally. We also had some good armor generation and lifesteal. Well played, Ronan. Now I'll take this and see what else we can find. Yeah, let's pick up that skull to combine with that essence and just shift that around a little bit. There we go. We don't have space for these, we'll get rid of them. Aha, we have found another whetstone. Let's see how we go against this Chana. And slow it down a bit too. You can see what's going on. She has heaps of mana regen. She's already inflicted 50 cold on us. But we're just doing too much damage too quickly. Let's have a look at the details here. And again, mostly from our wooden swords, they're outperforming our massive endgame weapon in damage. Now, they're looking amazing, and they are, but we're also getting a lot of beneficial on-hit effects from this endgame weapon, like inflicting debuffs and gaining buffs, which is improving the wooden swords with the strength gain that we get from World's End. Here I've got the space, why not? Let's go with that. Yeah, let's potentially combine that as well. Now I've decided, guys, to remove this weapon for you and to demonstrate that Harkin can be won with just simple common weapons. Let's rearrange this bag. So there we have it, guys, with a whopping 1.1 stamina usage. That should be increased though with the fanny packs and the speed essences, so we're likely to still run out of stamina fairly quickly. This is what we've got. We've got this in the stash here, and let's see how we go against this nymph. Ooh. And look at that. An easy win. We didn't need to use our pots or anything. That's what our damage looks like. Getting some lifesteal as well, thanks to that Red Widow and the Unholy Skull. And our opponent had a bit of thorns. But there we have it, guys. That's Harkin for you. These are our beastly wooden swords at roughly 50 damage a pop. We got pretty unlucky with that run with our potions, so no stamina potions and no daggers either, which is unusual. You'd usually find Harkon with both of those items too, because they really synergize well. But even with a slightly abnormal run, is still able to get wins fairly convincingly. I didn't even need that weapon. I didn't have to go to any of that trouble of building it. Well, there you have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed that run through of Harkin, and all the best with your playthroughs with him as well. And until next time, have a blessed week.